Good evening. So I'm going to just give it a few seconds so this live can appear in people's feeds. Um, so tonight on Let's Chat, I've got Deon Benade on here, and Deon is part of what I call sort of our mastermind group in the morning, and I've asked Deon to come on here because Deon's quite a bit younger than the rest of the group, and has a very different view on money and how the world works in that. Also, I want to just quickly mention that nothing that we say in this live is meant to be financial advice, investment advice, or anything like that. It's purely just what we are doing, and it's just we're throwing it out there. So just give me 1 second. Let me just get Deon on here. Deon, how's it going?
How's it, Quentin? No, all good.
Lekker,
How's
man.
guys? Everyone on the live?
How you doing? So I just want to quickly also I just want to quickly get the comments up here so I can just post. If you have any questions during the live, you're more than welcome to post them, and we can try and answer them as we go along. Let me just quickly. In the meantime, Deon, do you want to just maybe give us a little bit about yourself, and sort of how you've got involved in network marketing, or the business that you're in, or the projects that you're in at the moment? Maybe just give us a brief background and just a bit of yourself, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, awesome. Well, I'm currently 28. My name is Deon Benade. I stay here in the East Rand, and I've been studying part-time through another university type college,
Okay.
engineering degree. So me doing that, I've also worked in the engineering industry. And last year, I think it's a little over a year now, I lost my job there, so I had to come up with something. And luckily, I was introduced to this company where they gave me an opportunity to earn money. I don't have to work for them, meaning in the sense of I don't have to go into work. I could do it from anywhere I would like. We have an internet connection, where I have a phone. I can talk to other people and share with other people my ideas and my products and whatnot. So I got started there. So that was last year.
Okay.
And since I've got involved in more companies similar to that, where this is now, I've not sent out my CV to go back to the engineering world. I am, however, still doing my studies. I want to finish it and get my degree.
How long have you still got on your studies?
Pardon?
How long have you still got on your studies?
I think, well, end of this year,
Yeah.
I finished my last subjects, and then I just have to write a couple more exams.
Okay,
I think two exams. Then I'm pretty much done.
Okay. All right, cool. So you mentioned you're involved in a few projects and that, so I'm going to get into that just now. But what I want to ask you is, I'm quite always interested to see how people do things slightly different, although they're in the same business or the same sort of industry. And just give us how do you build your network, or how do you go about building your network usually?
Well, the best way that I try to look at it is I try to connect with people. I try to get on their level. I try to find a common interest with them. So if it is over the phone, if it is friends or something, but mostly currently I try to do my spaces online. I try to do it through the online world of social media. Through a couple of videos of YouTube, lately more focused on Facebook, because they do allow great engagement from advertisements and your Facebook page. You can talk to them, and also through email marketing. So I'm more on the side of using technology to reach people that you most probably won't during your normal day.
Yes, and tell me, what out of those tools, which one do you typically like? What's your favorite? Because a lot of people have their favorite of, I prefer to speak to somebody on the phone, or I don't like speaking to people on the phone, so I try and avoid that. I do WhatsApp messages or whatever their tool is. What is your preference usually?
Well, my preference would definitely is to start it in a more impersonal way, like with Facebook.
Okay.
Keep it business. and then work it from there. Once they are interested, then I actually ask them for their telephone number. Then I want to make it more personal, because then I want to call them.
Yes.
I want to hear how they sound. I want to share more with them. I want to ask them how was their day, how was their weekend, to start building a relationship that you can build on from there.
Okay, cool. So how long have you been, and I think you might have mentioned it already, but how long have you been doing this sort of, if I want to call it, full time now?
Actively, I would say from last year, August.
Okay, so that's less than a year then.
Yes.
Okay, and tell me, for you, you obviously had a very brief stint in the corporate world, if you want to call it that, compared to us older folk. But what do you think are the benefits of having a position or opportunity that's structured in the way that, like, network marketing, where you're not an employee?
Well, I think the best way is you definitely have to learn quicker. You have to be on your feet. There's no chance to stand around. And if you also look at that classic graph, the E, the B, the S, and the I, your employee, your other employee, a business owner, a self-employed, or an investor. Now, with network marketing, it gives you the chance to either be a business owner and a investor, which in my opinion is much better than the other two. And then it teaches you how to have better interpersonal skills, whereas with people who is more in the technology side, which don't really go out too much, has to learn these type of skills.
Yeah.
And yes, I think especially the kids nowadays, well, kids or anyone that's now stuck behind their phone, we need to get out more. We need to start talking to people, and I think network marketing is a great way of doing it. Everyone, how I see it, in some stage or another, network marketing is going to be on everyone's mind. A company will approach you and ask you to market their products, and you will choose a product that fits you.
Yeah. No, 100%, and it gives you that flexibility, and also I think from a opportunity perspective, the multiple streams of income which it provides as well, which I think a lot of people have learned the hard way during COVID. When you're relying, I mean, I know even business owners, friends, and that have had to have learned that lesson, where they had a very successful business but one stream of income, and with COVID, that stream of income being affected, obviously then your whole life's affected. Where with the network marketing or that kind of structure, it gives you the flexibility of having multiple streams of income at the same time.
Yeah, so, definitely. Is that one saying? If you're only relying on your salary, you are one step away from poverty.
Yeah, and that one step is a decision that's not necessarily up to you. That's the problem. The control is in somebody else's hands.
Exactly,
so that's the other challenge with that. So I wanted to mention the multiple streams of income and that, and then. So tell me a little bit more about, you mentioned now that you're in multiple things. I didn't actually realize that, but tell me a little bit about I know a lot of what you're going to speak about is technology based, which is probably a given at this stage, but what are you involved in at the moment? Tell us a bit more about what those projects are and what they're all about.
Well, I won't go into too much depth on all of them. I'll maybe highlight one of them that is my most prominent source of income, where I see the most returns, where I get returns weekly, actually daily, is through this company where they trade on behalf of you.
Okay.
Now, the market in this space has a bad stigma, has a bad name for it, but this company stands out. Of helping people where they thought they were in the dumps. They are literally helping people start earning additional income, residual income. Previously you saw ads of earn extra income or get passive income. All of this is like a pipe dream.
Yeah.
You hear about it, but you never see it. No one has it.
Yes.
Well, this is the first that I've seen that this company actually accomplished giving it to anybody. Anybody can obtain it.
Okay.
And this company is actually called Murder Trading International, where they take an asset and they trade on behalf of you, and then you can build a team. Now, as I've mentioned, being a business owner and an investor, you use leverage.
Yes.
Leverage to gain or to make profits and to step further forward. Now, this company gives you a massive leverage tool of building a team, working together, then building a residual income that will continue on weekly. You can stop working, it will still come in.
Yeah. So that's what we call a true passive income.
Exactly.
Which usually is or typically is extremely hard because usually it gets done through vehicles like property and those
Yeah.
kind of things. But there again, your entry into that kind of stuff is quite high. So it's not just anybody that can you need some money. So which
Yes.
brings me to a point of I just want to quickly actually just quickly interrupt you. So if you're on this live, if you can, please, if you're finding this information valuable, help us share this live. And the way you can do this is by clicking that little love button at the bottom, the harki or the smiley or the thumbs up, whatever it is. Just smack that a couple of times for us because it helps this live getting shared and being prioritized by Facebook. So what I wanted to say is, what's the entry point on this business? So how much money do I need? 100,000 rand to get involved? Yeah, or what's the entry point? How much do I need?
So this business started, they had a minimum of $100. Now $100 now roughly is 1,332 rand. That you had to start with.
Yeah.
They now recently, because the aim of the CEO and the founder is to bring this to anyone, even from the Ghana streets can start with this. So he took away the minimum. Now technically the minimum is how much you can buy Bitcoin for. So for an example, there's an exchange where you can buy the least amount that you can buy Bitcoin is R2.50 worth of Bitcoin. So theoretically, you can start your business with MTI with R2.50.
Okay. Interesting. So the entry point is pretty low then. It's not that
it's very, very low, and you are given then a tool where you can build massive wealth, not little bit, massive wealth, if you use the tools.
Yeah. So tell me, I'm always interested to know. A lot of the businesses offer you sort of one stream of income again, where if you're not building a business, then pretty much there's no real opportunity for you. So with the business that you're involved in that, what would you is it the same, or do you're obviously earning off your investment also? So if you put $100 in, I assume you're earning there as well as if you're sharing the business and networking basically.
Yes.
Okay.
So how this business works is the main part of the business is the trading. Everything that happens after that is from the trading, from the profits. So let's say, for example, you deposit $100 or 100 rands, whatever, doesn't matter what amount, into the business. Then they take that Bitcoin and then start trading for you. So then on average, from the past results, it would be more or less 10% monthly growth compounded. So if you can then only be an investor if you'd like to be, but then as you mentioned, the bigger wealth is in the optional referral program, where you would then earn additional 4 other income streams by just sharing.
Yeah. So because I've been doing a lot of homework also for quite some time now on affiliate marketing, which is a very, very similar strategy or very similar way of building a business whereby you there, mostly it's affiliate is online and stuff like that, where you get a link and you share that link, and then you're basically a salesperson for that company, and you just get a commission. Everybody's got a different commission structure, so it allows you to, like the same as what you're talking about now, it allows you to build a business with very little capital, yeah, pretty much as low as you could get. Capital. You don't need to go and set up an office. You don't need, to go and employ people to start up with,
Yeah.
which is similar to what you're mentioning now, I think. Okay, cool. So what I wanted to ask you also is that, what for you is the three, when you're looking at a business, what's the three most important things that you, for you in business, whatever it is?
Sorry, what do you mean?
So three most important things can be: I need to know that the business is legit, or I need to, for me, when I go into business, the people
Oh,
I'm dealing.
to start with the new company or
Yeah,
something
to
like
start with a new company, what are the three most important things for you when it comes to business? For it might be, trust, or it might be whatever it
that? Okay.
is. What do you
So,
typically prioritize?
um, well, firstly, it would obviously be the name of the company. What is their reputation out there?
Okay,
Then, secondly, for me, it would be the compensation plan. Obviously, I don't want to work my butt off and not get paid. I want a
sure.
company that gives me the most for what I'm doing. I want to work for my assets. That's gonna then after that work for me
Yes.
and generate me money. But then, most importantly, I would say, how is the company making money? Because if you can determine how the company makes money, then you can determine if it has a future.
Yes. For you, so what you're saying there is the longevity or the sustainability of the business. You want
Exactly.
to know that it is sustainable and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I wanted to ask you this question, and I'm going to throw you a bit of a curveball because I'm quite interested to know. It's interesting how, in our business, and that, like I say, you're probably the youngest person. It's typically the older crowd, my crowd, and up. And you can always see the difference in perception. For somebody that's maybe 60 years old to myself, it's 40 now, and what technology, and that the person that's 60 grew up in a different era to what I did. I grew up where computers was just coming out, internet was just, so I sort of got the beginning of that. You
Yeah.
obviously grew up where it was pretty much. If I look at my daughter, she does not understand a world without Google. She's never been to a library. She never probably will go to a library in her life because she doesn't need to. So it's a
Yeah.
completely different world that she's grown up in. She's never known a world without a cell phone. I mean, I still remember a world without cell phones.
Yeah.
So, and I guess it's the same for you. So I wanted to ask you, on you mentioned this business being driven by Bitcoin and that. So how do you see money in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, what's money going to look like? How are we going to operate? How do you see that?
Well, for myself, I would see it in a cryptocurrency type way. But if you're asking the general public, I won't say much difference than it is now. Cryptocurrency, where I make all my money, where I spend all my money, all of that, still has a long way to go. The government bodies still have to accept it, then create some regulations around it to control it, and then there will be mass
Adoption.
adoption. But what I also really see coming, and you would see it in the news lately, is that all of the big governments are starting to talk about creating their own stablecoin. Now, a stablecoin is, for instance, a cryptocurrency that is directly linked to the price of the country's currency, for instance,
Okay.
the dollar.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing that happening in a very near future, where countries would introduce that. Facebook is now doing it. Libra, their
Yes.
coin, China has been in the works, I think, for the last year or two, trying to bring out their own cryptocurrency.
Sure,
so
yeah.
we are moving to a digital way. That time when you moved from your checkbook to your debit card was scary. No one knew what was happening. How do you do this? How do you do EFT? It's a small learning curve. You just learn how to do it. We implement newer tools, newer things to make it easier, and there we go.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Interesting, because I saw that the US is busy with a dollar, basically a digital dollar in a nutshell. So it'll just replace the actual piece of paper, if you will. But it'll probably have the same issues. But anyway, we won't discuss that now. But yeah, so you also mentioned it's quite interesting how different people you mentioned earlier that so you used sort of the digital space quite heavily to build your business. Like the older generation might use more like old school, they WhatsApp, and they meet somebody down at the shopping center and they crack up a conversation and start talking or whatever the case may be. But when it comes to Facebook and that kind of stuff, they're quite scared to take that on, or I think it's just because they don't understand it maybe, and that creates the fear. So for you, do you use the digital space quite massively then?
Yes, I try to leverage it because, like you said, I technically grew up with it. Well, since high school, I would say it was more prominent in my life. So I'm quite versed in this space. I know how most of the platforms work. I don't understand them fully, but I try to work my around through them and try to use my opportunities that was given to me.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I want to just, how can somebody get hold of you if they want to engage with you in that?
Well, I would say the main way is through my Facebook page.
Okay, let me type it here. What is it called?
XBTC. So I've got a Facebook page generic about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies in general. And then people engage with me through that, and then they ask questions. They want to know more, and then we guide them. We teach people more about crypto. We teach them it's not this dark place on the internet where they only use illegal activities.
Yes,
it's a currency.
There's a massive misconception on that.
Pardon?
I said there's a massive misconception on that.
Yeah, no, massive. But it's a learning curve. People will get there slowly but surely.
What's that page? It's XBTC, right?
Yeah. If you want the tag, it's XBTC9.
Okay, let's just try that. See what that comes out. I'm doing it in the comments, so we'll see what happens there. All right, cool. And then the last thing I wanted to ask you is, who do you typically follow? I'm always interested to know now, sort of like a mentor, but online mentor. So this might be somebody that you've never met before, that you never have engaged with, or whatever, that you follow online, and sort of what I call an online mentor. Who do you typically follow online in that?
Well, in the networking space, I would say Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, Eric Warrer, and Todd Falcone more prominently, yes.
Okay, cool. Now that's just the interesting thing I wanted to think. So, yeah, I've put your tag down there in that. I really appreciate. I'm going to end it there. Unless there's anything else you wanna add to what you've said in that. I don't know if you've got anything else.
No, I'm 100.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll chat again in that. And I think you've really added some value here from a different perspective on things in that. So I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you, Quinton.
Cool.
Cheers.
Cheers, Deon. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining on this live. If you did join, if you can share this live and like the live, it helps with the engagement, and it obviously pushes the live and helps me get more exposure on this live. And we will see you tomorrow night. I have another guest that is joining us. So I will see you tomorrow night. Thanks. Cheers.